or hello. I'll work on that. But welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my London flat. Obviously, I'm still here. I'm gonna be here for 2+ months, and in a couple of days I will have hit 2 weeks here. And at this point I'm already starting to get affected a little bit by England in my style, and thought I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm Britifying my style. And it's definitely not on purpose. I mean, I'm just sort of leaning into it, but it's coming totally natural. And I have some thoughts about, you know, both what I'm doing, but also just how it differs from Swiss and also a little bit Danish style. So I just want to go through everything basically that I'm switching up, that I'm wearing, and that is on my mind. When I think of UK style, I think of fall, and in theory it is fall here now, but we've just had like a week of 30-31 degrees here in London, and honestly I am so over it. I am melting, and also I packed for fall. So I have all of these fall pieces I want to be wearing. Like now that it's this warm, I'm literally wearing like 2-3 different skirts and my linen shirt. That's basically almost all that I have, and I'm so over it. I'm so ready for fall. Disregarding that, thinking of like, you know, when the weather is a little bit colder here, and also just what's on my mind in general as I go shopping, that's what I really want to be talking about, because I have started shopping a little bit already, and I think that's just completely natural. Like when you go somewhere new, you get excited, you want to add things to your wardrobe. And also in my case, you know, I'm gonna be here for a little while, so I think just completely naturally you wanna just like fit in with your surroundings, or at least I do. And just in general, like the Swiss style that I'm coming out of, that I have, like coming here with that, like there are definitely a few things that I can see here is not as stylish as it would be, or it's not considered stylish, where they have some things here which, you know, I'm just thinking to myself like, wow, you could not wear that in Zurich and be let in anywhere. But yeah, it is what it is, and I just want to talk about my thoughts and feelings regarding it. So that was one long intro. Let's just get started. So the things I'm wearing so far of what I already own to sort of like Britify my style, I brought my Converse, because as you know, I almost exclusively wear my booties in fall and winter, and then back home in Zurich in summer I'll wear like my Birkenstocks. But because I was gonna come here for fall, I didn't even bring ones. I didn't even bring my Birkenstocks. I don't think it'll be such an issue anyway, because the weather is about to get worse here now. But I've been wearing my Converse instead, and I'm really not a sneaker girl. I used to wear the Nike Air Force One for like literally more than a decade, and you know, a year or something into like being in Zurich, I just realized that I was just over it, and I started wearing just like primarily or exclusively other types of footwear. But coming here to the UK, everyone and their mother are wearing sneakers. It is crazy. It is like unhinged. It is so wild. Like it's literally everyone, and it's also like when people go out. So I went for a night out with this British girl group, which was very nice of them, but it was also like an opportunity for me to just like hang out with the locals and see what they were wearing. And yeah, all of them were wearing white sneakers, and I actually have another video I'll show that wasn't even that same night, but where I was also out with a bunch of Brits, and they were all wearing white sneakers, and like we were in a really nice place too. And as you can see in the video, you know, I'm wearing other types of shoes, and I don't know that that's something I will switch up while I'm here. I mean, never say never, you know, maybe in like 2 months I'll be so integrated that I want to wear white sneakers everywhere too. But like for me, it was like, we're in a pretty nice place. Like I want to wear chic footwear. That was kind of funny. So I've been wearing my Converse like, you know, on a day-to-day basis. It's too hot to wear the sneakers anyway. And I'm starting to like, I will say get into it, but also just like accept that that's, you know, what I can wear, and also accept that as stylish for the UK. But what I would really like to add, probably while I'm here, or maybe we'll see, but I would like to add a real pair of sneakers. I want to get like probably a leather pair, you know, something that looks like the Stan Smiths or the Vegas, or some type of like Nike leather white sneakers, because I feel like they're still like relatively stylish and not overly sporty, but still something that I could see myself wearing. And then something I see people do a lot here, I feel like that's also something that people do in Denmark a little bit, but not as much. Here it's really a look. Like it's something I would do to the gym, but basically people wear their white sneakers with like ankle socks. So, you know, when you go somewhere else, there's things about the style there that you will like and things that you won't. And I think this thing with like the socks sitting like above the ankle and wearing white sneakers, I really like that look. I think I always kind of have, but yeah, it would make no sense for me to like wear that in Zurich. It's just too like it's too cool, it's too like athletic, like you just wouldn't really wear that generally, but here they do, and I really like that. So that's definitely a look I think that I am going to adopt. So yeah, I've been wearing my Converse, and then I'm also wearing, this is just like the cool girl pieces that I like to call it, that I had already. So, you know, I have the Prada Sunnies, these ones. It's a pretty standard style. I feel like kind of a lot of people have them, and in Denmark they're kind of popular. That was also how I got introduced to them, because these are definitely not prevalent in Zurich. Like, they're a little bit too less, or not enough, they're not classic enough for a Zurich style, I feel. So they're not really that popular over there, but here they are also quite popular. Just in general, there are more space for like cool girl pieces, and because of that, I have been wearing my cool girl sunnies a lot. I also brought the Ray-Bans, but haven't really reached for them as much. Then that's actually sort of it for like what I mean, I'm wearing all of my clothes, or not all of my clothes. I'm wearing my own clothes, and then I am pairing it with new things that I bought as well on top of these things. And I bought 3 things so far. I actually have something else coming in the mail. I'm gonna talk about that as well. But I bought, first of all, a pair of jeans. I did talk more in depth about these in my last video, my And Other Stories video. So without getting like really deeply into it, I basically bought a pair of jeans that are a lot cooler in their style or the cut than what I would wear back home in Zurich, basically. Like, they're kind of baggy, but honestly, like, I feel like they suit me so well. But it's the thing, like, it's the thing where, like, you know, even though they suit me well, they still also have to like suit your surroundings in order for you to feel stylish. And I don't know that I would feel that stylish in these in Zurich, but here I am, and I have bought these jeans, and they fit in really well with what else I have in terms of fitting into like the UK style. And then I also bought a jean skirt. I'm getting to the thing that I'm most excited about after that, by the way, but I bought a jean skirt, or like a denim skirt. And truth be told, I have been on the lookout for a denim skirt for like 2 years, so I feel like it fits in very well with like UK style and my style, because my style is an A-line mini skirt, and I feel like denim is just like, it's sort of, I mean, I would wear this in Zurich too, like, but here it's even more so like, it's sort of like a more casual look that can still be stylish, and I feel like that's pretty much like UK in a nutshell, or like England or London or whatever in a nutshell, like the style here. So that I added, it's a pretty good fit. You know, it is a jean skirt, so I made sure to buy something that is not like overly tight, and this is just, it's really great. So that's what I added. And another thing that I added is this cropped jacket from Zara in black. Had I seen this in Zurich, like, I might have tried it on, but even if I would have, like, I would have immediately come to the conclusion that it was too cool. Like, it's this thing where, like, you know, personal style, you really, at least for me, I think for most people, you want to be appropriate for where you're at. And in Zurich, I would have just felt out of place, or like I was trying too hard in a jacket like this. But like, now that I'm here, suddenly some of the pieces that I really like are more like appropriate to wear. And I actually feel like some of the things you can like wear in the UK are actually more aligned with my personal style. I feel like my personal style have taken, like, a lot of what I'm wearing is sort of also to like repress, almost in a sense, some of what I really think is cool, so that I fit in well where I live. And I'm sure that some people would say that that's a shame, but for me, that's just how it is. Like, I don't think that that's a shame at all. You just you adapt. I've been a bit sick, so I'm drinking my peppermint tea. It's actually my first cup of tea since I've been here, or since I arrived. I bought this jacket. Obviously, it's probably not the best quality, and it's funny because I actually saw it first on one of my favorite UK influencers, or one of my favorites. She's one of the only ones that I follow, and I think she adds some nice pieces every once in a while, and I had already noticed this piece on her, and I just happened to completely randomly fall over it in store, and I tried it in both white and black, and in theory I would like both of them, but you know, you gotta start somewhere, and the black I think is just, it's better, like it's not gonna get dirty as fast and stuff like that. It fit in really well with what I already have here, And yeah, again, it's just it fits in so well. I think I look so cool in it, and apparently that was why it was so surprising that I just walked in and then found it in store, because apparently it's been selling out. It's been really difficult to like get ahead of it, but Freya did share a link to another jacket. I'm gonna share it in the link below as well. It's even a little bit cheaper, but it's basically like a dupe. It's the exact same, and it's from River Island, so it's just as nice, if not nicer. That's basically how I'm Britifying my own style so far. Like, you know, I'm wearing what I already have, and then yeah, or I'm going to be wearing what I already have, because you know, a lot of this is gonna be only really relevant again in like a couple of days when fall comes back. But basically what I am wearing a lot, of course, as I also do home in Zurich, is a top with a A-line mini skirt. And you know, I'm so excited for fall so that I can be wearing like either one of my trench coats with it, or even more importantly, like my blazers. So I have a couple of blazers with me, and my favorite is probably the dark or the cool tone brown one from Zara. That one I feel like also has a shape that's a little bit more like, it's a little bit more boxy and slightly more oversized, even though not like entirely oversized, and some of the other blazers that I have, because something else I brought, not that, you know, it really has the same look to it anyway, but I brought the Jill Sander blazer as well, which is more of like a tailored cut, and I do really like it. I think it's so beautiful, but it's definitely more Zurich beautiful, where here you can just tell that, you know, in the UK everything is a little bit more chunky, everything is a little bit more oversized than it is in Switzerland, and I like both looks, to be honest, but I just want to make sure, you know, I feel my most stylish when I'm here, so I'm definitely just in general gonna go more for like the chunky and oversized ones. But you know, once you have a little bit of the best of both worlds, like once you're affected by both, I feel like it's hard to go to either end of the extremes. Like, you know, a very tailor-made blazer, I don't know that I could ever do, and the same thing, you know, one of these like looks where like the blazer is really oversized, it's just so trendy, like I can't do it. I'm probably gonna stay somewhere in the middle regardless of like which look I'm going for. That also means like now that I'm planning on shopping here, like I definitely want to be bringing home like a blazer. Ideally I'm looking for a nice oversized sleek looking navy blazer. That would be like the goal for me. I think that's probably gonna be my most like proven outfit formula when I'm here. I mean, it is also at home again, but like A-line miniskirt, bare legs or tights, some sort of top, and then a blazer to go with it, then maybe a Maigani sweater on top of it, like depending on, you know, whatever. And then it would be really nice to have like a pair of leather sneakers, and then, you know, do the, whenever I can have bare legs, I would do the ankle sock look. And when I'm not doing that, then of course I'm just gonna do boots. But you do really truly get a lot of walking done in the city. I mean, I'm already doing that at home in Zurich, but I feel like in here it is more extreme. Like at the end of the day, when I've been wearing both actually the Converse as well, but also the boots, like my feet are just done. So actually a pair of white sneakers is probably a good idea. And then of course I will also be able to wear my jeans. I'm probably gonna wear the new ones again because they are just more UK appropriate, and then with like whatever top, whatever sweater I want to wear. Ah yeah, that's another thing, you know, I've already found a sweater from another stories that I would really want. I think I might add that down the line. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that's also more of like an oversized look than what I would usually gravitate towards home in Zurich, where I usually go for more like fitted looks. It's really just like such a difference. It's like the fitted versus the more like non-fitted. But then here in the UK, it's like everything is a little bit more chunky and oversized, but they do have these pieces then where like everything is on display and everything is like really tight. Like the tops, like especially for going out, like some of the things that the girls here wear, they are so unbelievably short or like so busty that in Zurich, that I just couldn't wear that. Like that would be considered like vulgar, but I am honestly totally for it. Like I really don't mind it. It's just a cultural difference. Like I have this top, I'm gonna pop a picture up of it because I just had it fixed and adjusted at a tailor here in the UK, because back home in Switzerland it would have been so expensive, so I on purpose waited until I came here, and I just picked it up yesterday. So I'll share the picture, and this is like a silk top from Massimo Dutti. It's like one of my favorite types of looks, like, you know, a deep V cut and then the very slim or thin straps, and then it's a tight fitted piece, but it is very busty, and I would really be considering hard like whenever I would want to wear that home in Zurich, if ever. Like, and when I did, I would be very aware that like, okay, what I'm wearing today is like very it's very on the line. But here it just isn't. Like I see girls, also some of the girls that I gone out with, like they will wear like things where like the nipple is right there. Like that's what I'll say. But I love it, and I'm glad that that's okay here, because I will be doing the same goddamn thing. And so speaking of that, I added some, that's not true. I ordered some basic tops from Free People. Unfortunately, they're all too big, so I have to order a size down, and then I'll have to bring the other ones back to in store, so I won't show you right now. I'll just show you like the styles that I bought, and then I'll share in a later video like what worked out, what I'm keeping. But basically, like I really miss like these basic tops in just like black and white. So now I bought some that are a little bit more warm weather appropriate, but like once it get proper cold here, if it happens while I'm still here, there are a couple of other tops from Free People I also want to buy or add. But right now I'm adding the strapless ones because I really like tops like that. I have one from Reformation, and then I have a couple of ones from Abercrombie, like literally have two. And I love this type of look, but the ones I have right now aren't necessarily like perfect, because I feel like it takes so far in between I find a top like this that I like. But apparently Free People do like a ton of them, and they're made from this like really comfortable and stretchy fabric, and your gals are really set super nicely in there as far as I can tell. I'm really hoping that most of these will work out, and then I will wear those as like basics under like what I'm doing, what else I'm wearing, and for going out, stuff like that, and then just like wear a skirt with it. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also just gonna because I actually tried one on the store, and I was like, I don't need this yet. There's no need to buy it now, like I can buy it later. But there was one with like a square v-neck with like with long sleeves, and oh my god, it was so beautiful. So probably gonna add that later as well. Then just like general like UK style compared to like what I'm coming from, which I mean obviously I will always have like I'm very affected by like older Scandi style. I like before I moved to Switzerland, but a lot of my style right now, of course, is affected by the Swiss style. Then I also have some thoughts of feelings about like the Swiss style that I've been living and surrounded with for the past 5 years, and then just like coming here instantly. I feel like there are things that I like here in London or the UK. You know, I don't know if London and the UK it's a big difference, but here in London there are things that I like, and then back home in Zurich there are also things that I like, and then there are things that like, I don't know, you're always gonna, you know, prefer some and not the other. And I feel like here in the UK there's more space for trends. Like there's a lot more trendy pieces. I will see more women like my age looking very trendy, which is also the case in Denmark, but where I feel like, you know, trendy in England or in London is slightly less unhinged than in Copenhagen, because in Copenhagen trendy is just like, that can just mean anything. It's just like all over the place, a lot of colors, big feathered jackets, or yeah, a lot of colors, a lot of crazy shapes, a lot of crazy like patterns and stuff like that, like very Ghani basically. And I don't like that necessarily, like these like unhinged proportions, where I feel like that is a little bit less so in the UK. Like it's more just like chunky and oversized. But I will say something, which is that, you know, it's chunky and oversized, but it's still a little bit like smart casual, business casual, where it's like the pieces will be cool because they're a little bit too much in one way, but it'll still be very like toned down. Like the colors will still be like neutral, or you'll only be wearing one thing in color, or yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it, to be honest. It's actually like that. But one thing I really like about Swiss style, which I feel like is a little bit less the case here, I feel like things here in London, just when I'm watching people, you know, how they're dressed, I feel like things are more generic in general. People don't look as like individual, like their individual style doesn't seem as personalized often. I feel like, yeah, again, it's just a little bit less generic, where like in Switzerland, a lot of the pieces that people will be wearing, both like, you know, I mean, that also sometimes causes people to look a little bit less stylish, but not always. But basically in Switzerland, I feel like people are wearing more like unique pieces, especially when it comes to something like jewelry, or not especially, but that's one example. Like jewelry, or they'll wear some like really weird or like interesting shoes, or like a really interesting sweater or something like that, where I feel like it looks like here in the UK people often go for the more like generic piece. Like for example, when I watch girls jewelry here, they will be wearing like very generic jewelry. Like there's nothing like it's a ring that I could buy at any website, or like earrings or bracelets that I could buy at any website, or it will be bracelets, you know, from luxury brands, where I feel like, yeah, in Switzerland it's just like people are more wearing what looks like to be like handed down pieces or like passed down pieces, or I mean, of course people there also wear like, usually it'll be like the Cartier bracelet, or they have like the Hermes bracelet, but in general it's less generic, and the style is a little bit more personal, which again, like it doesn't have the same than like unanimity, you know what I mean, and like consistency to it, which means that sometimes the population as a whole can look a little bit less stylish, again because they, you know, there are always some things like falling outside of the norm, where when you're walking around London, I feel like everyone looks more or less pretty stylish, but they're also more or less wearing the same thing, of course to a certain extent, but that is just like what I am picking up on. But like, even though I'm saying that, I really do like the UK style. I just think that you know, I am gonna of course be fitting in a little bit, or I am gonna be affected by that and trying to like fit in a little bit while I'm here, but there are definitely certain things that I don't want to lose. Like for example, like I really like having my jewelry to be like not generic. I mean, of course there are always exceptions, like for example, I always wear hoop earrings, which is probably the most generic thing I could think of ever. Outside of that, I feel like UK style so far, you know, partly it's very glamorous and very polished. Like most women will have like their nails done, or at least maybe that's just like maybe that's just what I'm picking up on because that's what I'm into. But women will have like their nails done, very nice hair. They wear a lot of makeup. Like when I first got here, I went to have like my eyebrows tinted, and I was so upset the first couple of days because they were so dark. But like every time I asked someone, that could also just be British people being polite, but they're like, oh, it looks good. But just in general, yeah, you will see, like, even though women hair are very glamorous, it's just not toned down. It will be very, like, in your face. Like, very dark eyebrows, very overly done hair, lips with filler. Anyway, I'm not saying that that's good or bad, just what I'm picking up on. So yeah, it's interesting to have like another country style like thrown in there with mine right now, and I feel like one of the reasons I am also diving in head first is because, yeah, I mean, I am just staying here a little bit more than 2 months for now, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that was all I had to say about like how I'm beautifying my style so far. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!